thought to start with, to celebrate that, we would do a dance with Arabic words. Yahai, Yahak. So Yahai is life force, divine life, divine energy. And Yahak is can be translated as truth, but the manifestation of life, life in this moment in our being. Yahai, Yahak. So energy and how we are manifesting it now, personally. So you want to say that? Yahai?
Yahai.
Yahak.
Yahak.
And I'm going to take my jumper off because I'm starting to get a bit warm. So let's all raise our arms when we say Yahai in an enthusiastic, energetic way. Yahai!
Yahai!
So really, when you raise your arms, stretch them out, feel them stretch, because if you just do that, you won't get the same experience. I invite you to experiment with vigorousness in this dance. Yahai! Yahak! And then bringing that energy, that life force down into the earth, into our bodies, manifesting it in our being. Yahai!
Yahai!
Yahak!
Yahak!
So we'll just sing it for a little while. It's very, very simple, and then we'll be dancing it, and we'll be increasing the speed, doubling the speed a few times, and I'll tell you when to do that. So, Yahai, Yahak. Okay, so let's stand up if you can and if you wish. And we will do a modified version for the screen. So we will, let's sort of walk on the spot, I think. That's the thing for the first movement. So we're imagining we're walking all together in a circle, one in front of another. Keeping those feet going all the time. Now turning, just turning on the spot, clockwise. Facing the centre. Hands down to the ground. Hands facing the circle and the ground. Now imagine joining hands. Raising your hands, dropping them. Imagine we're connecting all together, all our energy joining together. Now let's just go through that cycle one more time. Facing the center. Vigorous. Moving as one. Double speed. Double speed again. Turning. Center. Holding hand. Yeah. Huck. Just standing where you are, breathing, noticing the change in energy in your body, noticing your heartbeat, noticing the life force pulsing through you. Ya hai, ya huck. Amen. Great. Well, I'm glad I took my jumper off. Well, thank you for your enthusiasm and your life force and your engagement. Great to see you all there on the screen, throwing yourselves into it.
So I felt inspired to look this morning in one of my favourite books, Women Who Run with the Wolves. Yeah, ooh, give it out for that book. If you don't know it, you need to read it, especially if you're in a female body right now.
Or a male body.
Thank you, Grace.
It's really good stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
Or anyone. Amazing book.
Anybody, yeah, it's basically really good. So I just wanted to read a couple of passages because, yeah, when we can be aware of this surge of life force and energy that's available at this time of year, that is coursing through, certainly through the northern hemisphere, the northern part of the northern hemisphere at this time, and we know perhaps we can connect in with that flow of life, wherever we are. But there are times when we don't feel very connected with that. So there's a passage here where Clarissa Pinkola Estes describes what it can be like when we lose our connection with this wildness and life force. She says, what are some of the symptoms of a disrupted relationship with the wildish force in the psyche? To feel, think, or act in any of the following ways is to have partly severed or lost entirely the relationship with the deep instinctual psyche. So some of these symptoms are feeling fatigued, frail, depressed, confused, gagged, muzzled, unaroused, feeling frightened, halt, or weak, without inspiration, without animation, without soulfulness, without meaning, shame-bearing, chronically fuming, volatile, stuck, uncreative, compressed, crazed, feeling powerless, chronically doubtful, shaky, blocked, unable to follow through, giving one's creative life over to others, life-sapping choices in mates, mate work or friendships, and so on and on. You know, there's about another 3 paragraphs of these possible symptoms which many of us may relate to, you know, one or another or many of those. So then she also invites us to consider what it's like when we have this healthy connection with the wild, with this life force. So a healthy human is much like a wolf, robust, chock-full, strong life force, life-giving, territorially aware, inventive, loyal, roving. Sorry, I'm just reading little bits here and there. So when our lives are in stasis, it is always time for the wild to emerge. It is time for the creating function of the psyche to flood the delta. And she says to join the instinctual nature does not mean to come undone, to change everything from left to right, from black to white, to move the east to west, to act crazy or out of control. It does not mean to lose one's primary socializations or to become less human. It means quite the opposite. Wild nature has a vast integrity to it. It means to establish territory, to find one's pack, to be in one's body with certainty and pride, regardless of the body's gifts and limitations, to speak and act in one's behalf, to be aware, alert, to draw on the innate powers of intuition and sensing, to come into one's cycles, to find what one belongs to rise with dignity, to retain as much consciousness as we can. Juicy stuff. So, our wish for you this Beltane is that you may find some of that healthy, juicy nourishment of the rising life force and may embody that in your day-to-day lives. So we've got a couple of Beltane dances that I think some of you know and love from many years ago. One from James Nasruddin and one from Nikomo. So we're going to start with the fires of Beltane. So these are the words in English. The fires of Beltane kindle the night, reflecting the green man's glance.
The fires of Beltane kindle the night, reflecting the green man's glance.
His lady, the queen of the May, delights us all with her spiral dance.
His lady, the queen of the May, delights us all with her spiral dance.
Follow me to the source of all, he says.
Follow me to the source of all, he says.
I am eternal fire.
I am eternal fire.
Come with me to the source of all, she says.
Come with me to the source of all, she says.
I am your heart's desire.
I am your heart's desire.
So we'll sing it through 2 or 3 times to give you a chance to pick it up, and then I'll show you how the movements go. The fires of Beltane kindle the night, reflecting the green man's glance. His lady, the queen of the May, delights us all with her spiral dance. Follow me to the source of all, he says. I am eternal fire. Come with me to the source of all, she says. I am your heart's desire. The fires of Beltane kindle the night, reflecting the green man's glance. His lady, the queen of the May, delights us all with her spiral dance. Follow me to the source of all, he says. I am eternal fire. Come with me to the source of all, she says. I am your heart's desire. The fires of Beltane kindle the night, reflecting the green man's glance. His lady, the queen of the May, delights us all with her spiral dance. Follow me to the source of all, he says. I am eternal fire. Come with me to the source of all, she says, I am your heart's desire. So I don't know whether you can see, some of you, that Margot is holding up an image of the green man that she's made. Very beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Lovely. So, yeah. Maybe we'll have a look at that later on again, Margot, if you remind us at the end when people can find it. But in the minute now, we'll just go on to finding how we might move with this chant. If you have the room and the energy to do so, let's stand up. Oops. Try not to fall over the chair. So in this dance, we're normally meeting with a partner. We're going to turn with right arms. So remember, you can invite anybody that you wish to dance with like this. You can choose somebody from the screen, or you can just dance with yourself. So we're turning with right arms linked, first of all. So the fires of melting kindle the night, reflecting the green man's glance. And then we're going to go the other way, taking left hand with the same partner. His lady, the queen of the maid, delights us all with the spiral dance. And then, you know, this can be done different ways. Sometimes it's people who are in male bodies who walk forwards at this point, but also we can each, you know, choose to embody the kind of Ram side of our nature, the warrior, green man, powerful, physically strong, and whatever that might mean to you. So we can step forward with that. Follow me to the source of all, he says, I am eternal fire. Come with me to the source of all, she says, I am your heart's desire. Okay, I'm just going to tilt our screen a tiny bit. We're having to bend over so we see. There we go. So, taking right hands with your partner of choice. The fires of Beltane kindle night, reflecting every man's glance. It's lady, the queen of the maid, delights us all with the spiral dance. Follow me to the source of all, he says, I am eternal fire. Come with me to the source of all, she says, I am your heart's desire. The fires of Beltane kindle the night, reflecting the green man's glance. It's lady, the queen of the maid, delights us all in a spiral dance. Follow me to the source of all, he says, I am eternal fire. Come with me to the source of all, she says, I am your heart's desire. The fires of Beltane kindle the night, reflecting the green man's glance. It's lady, the queen of the maid, delights us all in the spiral dance. Follow me to the source of all, he says, I am eternal fire. Come with me to the source of all, she says, I am your heart's desire. The fires of Beltane kindle the night, reflecting the green man's glance. His lady, the queen of the maid, delights us all in the spiral dance. Follow me to the source of all, he says, I am eternal fire. Come with me to the source of all, she says, I am your heart's desire. Blessed be. Oh, for a moment I was really back in the big top at one of the camps doing those dances. Oh. This theme of our heart's desire is another theme from this time of year, and it's a really powerful time to tune in to what is our heart's desire and where we might like to go with the year. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm planting seeds and little plants in the garden, and every one feels like a desire for new growth, a desire for new growth and life to come. And so I really invite you to connect with that. Today we're going to be having a sharing shortly. We've got another dance first that gives you another chance to deepen in this this question of what is our heart's desire. Do you want to
Our
say
heart's yearning.
Our heart's yearning, that's right.
I think you
I'll talk about it.
you
Okay.
talk about it. You're good at talking.
So I'm told. Getting me to shut up was the problem. So this is one of Nikomo's, and I just, for those of you who know Nikomo, wasn't it delightful? I don't know if you saw the photograph of him with Rasula out in the garden. You know, he's back home from hospital, and I just want to really say, oh gosh, what a joy and what a journey that's been. He's here we are, singing and dancing his beautiful music and honouring him as we do so. So the wheel of the year is turning. Yes. Grace, I love it. So, and you know, these Celtic festivals, there are these, I mean, you may not all know this, but sometimes it's useful just to go over it. There are these 8 Celtic festivals. The quarters and the cross quarters. So the quarters being the solstices and the equinoxes, and the cross quarters are these fire festivals in between. And they really help us to connect with this turning of the wheel of the year and this sense of cycles, which is part, if you remember from the quotation I read this morning, that connection with our cycles is part of connecting with nature and the wildness. So yes, the wheel of the year is turning, and the Beltane fires are burning. So there was a tradition that they would light these fires in the villages. It was lots and lots of themes here. Purification after the long winter, and often a winter of sickness. So you would burn things that were unclean, that needed cleansing. They would drive the cattle between the 2 fires to bless and purify them. And then at the end of the day, or the end of the night more probably, they would take a burning brand from this fire, this Beltane fire, and take it back to their homes to kindle the fire in the hearth. Once again, I missed out the bit where they put out the fires in their hearths, but that was the start of it. So again, it's like a completely new beginning. It's bringing new life and new inspiration into the middle of our homes, into the hearth. And of course, the word for hearth and heart is very close in English. So we have this lovely blurring of the edges. So we say, the wheel of the year is turning. Let's say that.
The wheel of the year is turning.
And the Beltane fires are burning.
And the Beltane fires are burning.
So give your hand.
So give your hand.
And take your brand.
And take your brand.
To kindle your own heart's yearning.
To kindle your own heart's yearning.
So is it your hearth or is it your heart? You know, what we're kindling at the heart of our home, at the heart of our heart, being at home in the body, kindling this yearning for what we want to create in the coming year or the years ahead. Shall I go through the words one more time, or shall we just sing it? One more time, okay. So, the wheel of the year is turning.
The wheel of the year is turning.
And the Beltane fires are burning.
And the Beltane fires are burning.
So give your hand.
So give your hand
and take your brand
and take your brand
to kindle your own heart's yearning.
to kindle your own heart's yearning.
Wonderful. So this brand is this burning stick that you're bringing back to kindle. The wheel of the year is turning, and the Beltane fires are burning. So give your hand and take your brand to kindle your own heart's yearning. The wheel of the year is turning, and the Beltane fires are burning. So give your hand and take your brand to kindle your own heart's yearning. Let's sing it one more time. The wheel of the year is turning, and the Beltane fires are burning. So give your hand and take your brand to kindle your own heart's yearning. So, if you've ever danced it before, you'll remember that we're taking hands, making a wheel. So we're holding hands across the wheel, and so there's 8 people, or roughly 8 people in each wheel, and you're turning together, holding hands with the person opposite you, and that's symbolising the wheel of the year turning, and also these burning wheels, which they make a huge part of this Celtic symbolism, as the sun moves across the sky. So turning with our wheels, and then give your hand. The other hand also comes into the centre of the wheel, and then we pull out this burning stick from the fire, this ember, taking our brand to kindle our own heart's yearning. And then there's a little bit of music at the end, which is just a chance to maybe blow on that ember and just see what comes. See what is my heart's desire. What am I yearning for right now? What is asking to be birthed through me at this time of fertility right now. So, we're going to have to modify these movements quite a lot, so I suggest that you feel free to move freely with it, but this question of taking the brand from the community, this is not something we need to do all alone. We can reach out to the circle of the community here and to our circles within circles that are all of our communities where we live, or the communities of our hearts that might be widely scattered. And we can draw inspiration and from those circles we can take our kindling fires from wherever we find that inspiration and growth. So let's feel free to move in an inspired and creative way. We could just turn for the first part anyway, connecting with these wheels of life. The wheel of the year is turning, and the Beltane fires are burning. So give your hand and take your brand to kindle your own heart's yearning. wheel of the year is turning, and the Beltane bells are burning. So give your hand and take your breath to kindle your own heart's yearning. Low voices.
The wheel of the year is turning, and the Beltane fires are burning. So give your hand and take your breath to kindle your own heart's yearning.
High voices. The wheel of the year is turning, and the Beltane bells are burning. So give your hand and take your breath to kindle your own heart's yearning. It's on the breath.
Wheel of the year is turning, and the Beltane fires are burning. So give your hand and take your breath to kindle your own heart's yearning.
One more time.
The wheel of the year is turning, and the Beltane fires are burning. So give your hand and take your breath. Kindle your own heart's
Blessed be. So we're going to finish with a dance, but before that we've got some time, and I'd like to lead you in a breathing practice. I'm really feeling at the moment, for so many reasons, it's really good for us to do all of our deep breathing practices, whether that's from one of our spiritual traditions, or whether it's just purely for our good health and peace of mind, because there's no doubt that deep breathing works on the physical body and also on the vagus nerve, which affects the the way that we're responding in our fight or flight things. So when there's anxiety around, it's great to practice this. When there are potential lung infections and coughs and so on around, it's also really good. So I would like to invite you to join me with the purification breaths or the healing breaths of Hazrat Inayat Khan. And I love to do these, connecting them with the 4 elements. And particularly at this time of year, I was just outside this morning doing them, and it just feels so wonderful again to breathe in all that life force which is out there. So you can do these seated if you choose. I like to stand, so you can also do that. And we're going to begin with the earth breath, so connecting with the earth through our feet, this really strong connection, roots. And I actually dreamt about roots last night. That's weird, isn't it? Anyway, this idea that roots can, our roots go down deep into the earth, and they bring up, just like all the trees and the plants are bringing up life and green and growth. We can do the same thing. We can tune into Mother Gaia through our feet and through the earth and breathe that in. So with the earth breath, we're breathing in and out through the nose. And we're breathing in just like we did in the healing practice. Breathing in Ya Shafi, breathing out Ya Kafi. Just exactly what we need right now. So we'll just do 5 breaths at our own speed. Just breathe it in a natural breath in and out through the nose. And again, really imagining those roots penetrating deep into the earth, the way that the new plants are sending down their new roots, their little white hairs which are super absorbent, taking in all of this life energy, all of the nourishment from the earth, drawing it up into our bodies, and also with awareness that we are not separate from the earth. The element of earth manifests in our bodies, in our strength and rigidity, in the bones and the skeleton. We have the same quality of earth in us, not separate from the earth herself. Now moving to the water breath, let's breathe in through the nose, Ya Shafi, and out through the mouth, Ya Kafi, drawing this water up as if from the earth, like a spring, allowing it to fountain out through the crown of the head, showering down, cleansing and purifying in this wonderful miracle of water. Breathing in through the nose, drawing up the water, and out through the mouth, Ya Kafi, showering down, releasing, cleansing, washing us clean, purifying, and again nourishing us with water, the miracle of water. And again noticing how the qualities of water also manifest in us, the water which flows downwards to the lowest point, which moves around obstacles, which is able to move in this free and flexible way around the boulders in a stream or around the rocks. And we can do the same thing. Our muscles enable us to move in this free and flexible way. We're able to move around the obstacles that life presents, embodying this flow of miraculous water. Again, we're not separate. The water in our body is there in the same proportion as the water on the surface of the earth. the salt in our tears is the same as the salt in the sea. We're not separate. And moving to the fire breath, breathing in through the mouth and out through the nose. Breathing in Ya Shafi with the lips close together. Breathing out through the nose, Ya Kafi. And we can feel this pulsing and crackling of fire, the snap and crackle of sparks, and how the fire has this energy of life and this pulsation, just like the blood that pulses in our veins, the passion and the warmth and the fire that we feel from the sun is the same passion, warmth and fire which we find in our own natures, which helps us to manifest our heart's desire and to shine in the world. So breathing in this fire, the heat of fire transformed into light as we shine in our own true nature. Now moving to the air breath, in and out through the mouth, with the lips close together as if breathing through a straw. Breathing in Shafi, breathing out Kafi. This is the point when the air around us becomes our breath. As we breathe out, our breath returns to the air, not separate, not different. And the qualities of air which moves freely around the globe are our qualities of freedom, mental freedom, and complete flexibility and freedom. And our ability to connect via the breath. As I breathe out and you breathe in, we are connected, even across the globe. It's the same air, the same wind, same Holy Spirit. So it can be really helpful to remember that here on this screen, even though physically our bodies may be far away, we are deeply connected through our breath. Just allowing ourselves to move freely in this floaty way, allowing the feet to lift, feeling our bodies touched by the air all around, and knowing that as we breathe in, we take in this air as well. And finally, we'll do the ether breath. So this is a very refined breath. You can breathe through the nose or through the nose and mouth at the same time. Breathing in Ya Shafi, source of all healing. Breathing out Ya Kafi, sufficient, exactly what we need right now. And this ether breath could be called the rainbow breath. It's the perfection of all of the other elements. And so with each of these ether breaths, we can breathe in just exactly what we need in the right proportions for each one of us right now. What is it that we require, that our bodies need, our souls need, our hearts need, from the earth, from the air, from the water, from the fire? Breathing those in just exactly the right proportion for what we need right now. Being So we normally close this with a prayer of Hazrat Inayat Khan, Nayaz. I like to do an expanded version of this prayer, which includes the goddess. So maybe if you could say the Nayaz a line at a time, and I'll say the goddess part of it. And then you can repeat it after us. So,
Beloved Lord, Almighty God,
beloved Lady, all-powerful goddess,
through the rays of the sun,
through the light of the moon,
through the waves of the air,
through the waves of the ocean,
through the all-pervading life in space,
through the all-sustaining, loving earth, purify and revivify us, and we pray, heal your bodies, hearts, and souls. You can take the prayer and place it where it's needed in the body, paying attention to any piece which needs particular attention. Ameen. So, we would like to close with a dance. That speaks to our yearning, using this Arabic word ishq, which describes the way our hearts are drawn towards the things we love. And the Sufis say that the ishq is the glue that holds the universe together. It's like almost the force of gravity which keeps the particles attracted towards each other so that we can actually build up physical form. And we've shared before a quote from Rumi, which I'm going to try and remember, but it's along the lines that whatever we love leads us to the beloved. So remembering that following our ishq, following our heart's desire, our heart's yearning, always leads us towards the beloved. So we say, Ishq Allah Ma'bud Lillah.
Ishq Allah Ma'bud Lillah.
So God is love, lover and beloved. Ishq Allah Ma'bud Lillah.
Ishq Allah Ma'bud Lillah.
Ishq Allah Ma'bud Lillah. Ishq Allah Ma'bud Lillah. Ishq Allah Ma'bud Lillah. Ishq Allah Ma'bud Lillah. Ishq Allah Ma'bud Lillah. Ishq Allah Ma'bud Lillah. Ishq Allah Ma'bud Lillah. Ishq Allah Ma'bud Lillah. Ishq Allah Ma'bud Lillah. Ishq Allah Ma'bud Lillah. Ishq Allah Ma'bud Ishkala mabud lila. 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 So this dance, when we dance it in our circles, is an opportunity for lots of hugging. We're facing our partners. We're going to hug to the left. We're going to hug to the right. And then we take hands with our partners and we change places. And finally we have our own hand on our left hand on our heart and our right hand behind the heart of the person next to us in the circle. So, we have to modify these movements, and I do invite you to give yourselves hugs and really feel that touch, feel the hands stroking and holding. And if you're with somebody else in the room, feel free to give them a hug. And if you're alone, then feel free to invite somebody into your hug. To feel that closeness and tenderness, this loving yearning for being together. Knowing that all the time the truth is that we are not separate. We are all together. We are all joined. We are all one. Ishkala mabud lila. Ishkala mabud lila. Ishkala mabud lila. Ishkala mabud lila. Ishkala high voices. Ishkala mabud lila. Ishkala mabud lila. Ishkala mabud lila. Ishkala mabud lila. Low voices. Ishkala mabud lila. Ishkala mabud lila. Ishkala mabud lila. Ishkala mabud lila.
Ishkalam Amud Lila, 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 Ishkalam Amud Lila. One more time. Ishkalam Amud Lila, Ishkalam Amud Lila, Ishkalam Amud Lila, Ishkalam Amud Lila.
God is love, lover, and beloved. So wherever we feel the love, the lover and the beloved are there. Ishkalam Abud Lila. Amen.
Amen, amen.
Oh, dear friends. Well, thank you for being with us on this Beltane morning, and we really wish you the blessings of Beltane at this time of year. I'm going to pause the recording and invite you to just unmute yourselves all together and say a word for how you're feeling right now. Share, to close with the goddess blessing. It feels right. Robert was going to do one of the Sufi prayers of Pasratanaik Khan, but let's save that for Tuesday night. We'll do it then. Feels to me when we're deeply in this energy of Beltane, it's wonderful to call on the goddess. So if you know this, well, join with me. If not, just let it wash over you. Everything lost is found again, in a new time, in a new day. Everything hurt is healed again, in a new form, in a new way. Change is, touch is, touch is, change is. Change us, touch us, touch us, change us. Change us, touch us, touch us, change us, change us, touch us, touch us, change us. Blessed be. So we just have a couple of messages in the chat. I particularly want to mention Marie-Catherine, who can't join us with her microphone, so it's nice to bring her voice in. She says, "Thank you for this connection by the heart. Her feeling is gratitude." And Liz has said, "What a beautiful Beltane celebration. Thank you so much." Well, thank you all for being here with us.
Thank you.
For joining us on this Beltane festival. And love and blessings to you until we meet again. So we'll be meeting on Tuesday evening here in the UK as usual. And I've got a new plan in the pipeline too, so look out for messages about that and emails.
And if we manage it, and if it's appropriate, we may post the recording of this on our new YouTube channel, as long as there's nobody in it who minds.
We're hoping we've managed to record it so that it only shows Robert and me. So if that's the case, we'll post it. If there's anybody else showing, we'll have to work it out.
We might have to ask you if you pop up, we'll ask you if you mind.
So blessings to you all. And just again to say thank you so much for those of you that have made contributions to us via PayPal or via the bank account. And it's really, really helping us to keep going. So thank you for that. We really appreciate it. Bless you. And of course, we understand if people are not able to, then that's also fine, and that you're still welcome to be here. Bless you all. Until the next time. See you again.